Hey guys, thanks so much for joining me for today's at-home Pilates routine. Today is a full body wall Pilates workout. I'm really excited to be sharing this one with you. I was hearing about wall Pilates, seeing it all over my social media, and I had to give it a try. So I'm looking forward to hearing about what you think of the routine and whether or not you'd like to see more wall Pilates workouts on my channel. With that in mind, we're going to talk a little bit about what we're going to be covering today. So we are going to be working our abs, followed by our glutes and thighs, and finishing off with some upper body work. Now I've decided to add a set of 3-pound weights to my upper body routine. You actually don't need to use any weights at all, and I will talk you through the exercises with or without weights. You can also choose to use a lighter set of weight or a heavier set of weight depending on your level of challenge. So with that in mind, let's place our weights off to the side of the mat, and we're going to begin down on our backs just in a simple bridge position. So we're going to roll down one vertebra at a time, bringing the head, neck, and shoulders down on the floor. We're going to position the heels so they're below the knees, the legs are hip distance apart, and the spine is in neutral. We've got that little bit of space between our low back and the mat. Now, before we hit the wall, we really want to make sure that we're really aware of our pelvic position, because it's going to be important when we have our feet up, and that we're really articulating the spine as we move up and down through these different exercises. So from here, I'd like you to take a moment. You can place your hands on your hips if that makes it easier. We're just going to tilt the pelvis back, pressing the low back into the mat, and now we're going to peel the tailbone off the mat, peel the mid back off the mat, peel the upper back off the mat. So we're just up on our shoulders. Now we're going to reverse that movement. We're going to slowly start from the top of the spine through the middle of the spine, imprinting each individual vertebra down on the mat, bringing the tailbone down last. Let's try that again, really articulating the spine from neutral. We're tilting the pelvis back, peeling each individual vertebra up off the mat, coming into our bridge position, never overarching the low back, and then bring it down one vertebra at a time, really articulating each individual bone. Bring it back and ripple up one vertebra at a time. Keep those feet parallel, belly is plugged in, and now we're going to lower down, imprinting each individual vertebra down on the mat. Good, spine comes back into neutral. Amazing. Now from here, we're going to scooch ourselves up a little bit further so that we're closer to the wall. I'm going to ask you to press your feet onto the wall. We want our feet and our legs hip distance apart, and we want our knees directly above our hips. Okay, so we're creating nice right angles with the legs. From here, we're going to interlace our fingers behind our head, letting the head rest heavy in the hands. Elbows are nice and wide, and we're going to go into some simple crunches here. So we're going to inhale to prepare and exhale to lift. We're going to hold 1, 2, 3, and lower with control. Inhale and exhale. Lift 1, 2, 3, and lower. Good. 1, 2, 3, and lower down. Good. Lift 1, 2, 3, and lower. Good. As we lift up, we're plugging the belly button in toward the spine. We're really pressing that low back down onto the mat. Nicely done. And as you come up, you should be looking between your thighs. Good. 1, 2, 3, and lower. Really challenge yourself by picking your shoulder blades up off the floor and then lowering with control. We've got 3. Nice work. And 2. Lower with control. Last one. Lift and lower down. Amazing work. Now, keeping the hands where they are, we're going to bring ourselves up into our crunch. We're going to bring the right knee in toward the forehead, and then we're going to extend it out long. Same thing again. Good. And extend. Crunch it in, bringing the forehead toward the knee. And as we do so, press your left foot onto the wall. Really dig into it and lift yourself up as high as you can into your crunch, contracting your belly to your spine. Nicely done. Never pulling head, neck, and shoulders up. Using those abdominals to get the lift. Nice work. We've got 2. And final 1. Bring both feet flat on the floor. Now lift the left foot up off the wall. Inhale here and exhale. I have a tendency to say floor when I mean wall. It's new for me too. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. So you're pressing that right heel, that right foot onto the wall as we crunch up, bringing the left knee in toward the forehead. Good. Breathe out to crunch up. You've got this. Nice work. Pressing low back onto the mat. Peeling head, neck, and shoulders up. Good. We've got 3 and 2. Keep those elbows nice and wide. And 1. Good. Replace the foot on the wall. Now we're going to hold in a crunch position, lengthen through the right foot, lengthen up through the right leg, and we're going to bring the right leg out to the side and then back to parallel with the left leg. Right leg comes out to the side and back to parallel. Now your challenge with this movement is to keep your hips even. So try not to let that left side rock around. You can take a smaller range of movement out to the side if necessary. Keep the head, neck, and shoulders elevated if you can. If you need to lower them down, if you're straining in the neck, please do so. We've got 3 and 2, belly to spine as you bring that leg back to center, and 1. Relax it down, replace the foot on the wall. Other side. So we're lifting that left leg, pointing out through the toe, lifting into our crunch, and bringing it out to the side, and then back to center. Keeping those hips really stable, keeping the torso really stable, head, neck, and shoulders are elevated. Inhale to the side, exhale, belly to spine to bring the leg back to center. Good. Lift that head, neck, and shoulders a little higher if you can. Really working into those upper abs. We've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. Replace the foot on the wall. Now we're going to bring the hands overhead, pressing both feet onto the wall. Abs are engaged as we bring our hands together into prayer and then come to the center and back down. Come out to the left and back down. Back to center, peel up and lower down. Now we're going to come over to the right. Good. And back down. Back to center and back down. Over to the left, picking the right shoulder blade up off the mat. Back to center. Good. And over to the right. So we're working our way from side to side, keeping those hips really stable and level. So we're not letting one hip lift up off the mat as we cross up and over, getting into that waistline. Good. Really peel head, neck, and shoulders up off the mat. Keep the legs stable. Nicely done. We've got 4, 3, lift a bit higher, 2, and final 1. We're going to lift and hold for 5, for 4, lift those shoulder blades up, for 3, abs in, 2, and 1, relax it down. Now we're going to bring the palms so that they're facing up toward the ceiling, and we're going to extend our legs long so that the feet are pointed and the legs are squeezing together here. We're going to inhale here, and as we exhale, we're going to curl up and pulse the arms to the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then relax it down. Amazing. Again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Belly in and lower. Deep inhale. And come up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and relax it down. Lift up a little higher. Reach away from yourself with those fingertips. 8, 9, 10, and relax it down. Good. 3 more sets. Lift up and pulse. Nice strong arms. 8, 9, 10, and relax it down. Last 2 sets. Lift a little higher through those shoulders. And relax it down. Last set. Lift and pulse. Inhale and exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold. Bring both knees in towards your chest and gently rock from side to side. Amazing work. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Now from here, we're going to change position of our feet on the wall. So use your hands to help you, bringing yourself into a seated position. I'm going to place my feet hip distance apart on the wall like so. Now I'm just going to grab onto the backs of my thighs and use that grip to pull myself up so I'm in a really nice, tall, seated position. If at any point when you're doing these exercises and it gets too much, I'd like you to bring your feet flat on the floor. So if you feel like you're losing control with your feet on the wall, you can simply lower them down to the floor. Okay, from here, we're going to extend the arms out long. We're going to roll back into a C curve, engaging the core, and then we're going to lift up, straightening the spine and straightening the arms. Lower, engage those abs, and breathe out and lift. Inhale, keep those legs parallel. Exhale, lift and stretch. Inhale, engage the core, roll it back, and lift. Nice. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. If you need to readjust, I got a little bit far away from the wall there. You can scooch up a little bit further. Find that spot where you're really digging into those abs as you roll back. Nice. Lower, hold, and lift. Inhale, belly to spine to lift. We've got 3 and 2. Last 1. Lift. I'd like you now to move into a rotation. So we're going to inhale here, and as we exhale, we're going to bring the palms to one side, keeping opposite hip level. Lift and bring palms to the other side and lift. So we're working into the waistline here as we switch from side to side. We're keeping those hips evenly weighted. Nice. We've got 5, 4, abs in, 3, 2, and 1. Back to center. Relax the feet down on the floor and roll down 1 vertebra at a time. When you touch down, you can take your right hand over your right knee, left hand over your left knee, and just circle the legs in opposite directions, massaging your low back on the mat for 3, for 2, and for 1. Amazing. And now we're going to get into our glute and thigh work. So I'm going to scooch myself up so I'm a bit closer to the wall. Again, we want that starting position of having the feet hip distance apart and the knees right above the hips. So the spine is in neutral here. Make any adjustments that you need to. From here, we're going to start bridging up and down. So remember that spinal articulation. So the spine is in neutral. We're tilting the pelvis back and lifting, never overarching. So I don't want to see this movement. Just bringing it up, plugging belly in, and lifting onto the shoulders, not the neck. That's too high if you're up on the neck. Lower, and then peel the spine back up off the floor. Good. 1 vertebra at a time. Lower 1 bone at a time and lift. Focus on gently squeezing your back body, your glutes and your thighs. Make sure that those legs stay parallel, hip distance apart. We're not letting the knees knock in or splay out to the side. And just work your way up and down, articulating the spine, engaging the core as you're up in that bridge position, and really switching on the back body. Nice work. We've got 3 and 2 and 1. Amazing work. Now we're going to lift one of the feet off the floor and focus on really driving up through our supporting leg. Now, if at any point you start to feel too much of a burn in the hamstrings and not enough in the glutes, I want you to slightly change the position of your feet on the wall. So you might need to bring them up a little bit or down a little bit. It depends on your body and where you can really feel it. It's all about finding that sweet spot that works for you. So with that in mind, I'm going to roll the hips back, lifting into my bridge position. I'm going to take my right leg into tabletop. Then I'm going to leave it there and lift and lower the hips. Lift and lower. So I'm really needing to put that foot up a bit higher so that I can really feel it into the glutes. Good. Lifting and lowering. Driving up through that supporting foot. So really pressing that foot into the wall to get the lift. Keep those hips level, so don't let one hip lift up higher than the other. Really focus on that supporting leg doing the work as you lift and lower with control. Good. We've got 3 and 2. Abs in. Last 1 and lower it down. Replace the right foot on the floor. And now we're going to lift up and bring the left leg into tabletop. Moving up and down. Lowering and lifting. Really pressing that right heel into the wall to feel it in that supporting leg. Good. Lower and lift. Lower and lift. We've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. Lower your bum down to the floor and both legs come on the mat, on the wall. Okay, now from here, we're going to move into a lifting and lowering with the right leg. So we're going to lift up, bringing the spine into neutral, gently tucking the tailbone if you need to. We're going to extend the right leg out long and bring the right leg toward the chest and then tap it back to the wall. In and out. In and out. Inhale and exhale. Supporting with that left leg. We've got 5. Really point hard through the toe. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Amazing work. Now we're going to switch legs. Left leg in and out. In and out. Lengthening through that big toe. Nicely done. Good control for 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Bring both feet on the wall and soften the spine down to the mat. Amazing. Now from here, reposition as needed. Sometimes we move around a little bit during these exercises. So we want our knees over our hips, legs are hip distance apart. We're going to peel back into that bridge position, adjusting as we need to with those feet on the wall. From here, we're going to bring the right knee in, bring the left knee in, bring the right knee in, bring the left knee in, and lower. Just hover the tailbone off the mat and then lift. Same thing again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Marching against the wall. Lower and lift. 1, 2, 3. Lift those hips. And 4. Relax it down. Just hover the tailbone and right back up, squeezing through those glutes and thighs. 2, 3, and 4. Ripple down the upper back and then shoot back up. Last set. 1, 2,
3, and 4. We're going to hold in this elevated position, and we're going to go into some pulses here. So we're going to lower the hips a couple inches and lift. Lower and lift. Inhale and exhale. Lower and lift, abs in. Lower and lift. Good. We've got 5, 4. Squeeze those glutes. 3. I know they're tough. You can do it. 2. Last 1. And gently bring the spine back down to the mat. We're going to have a little stretch here. So we're going to cross the right leg over the left. Interlace your fingers. Take them behind your left thigh and just draw that knee in toward the chest. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. For 3 and 2 and 1. Switch the crossing of your legs, left over right. Bring the right knee in and stretch out the glutes on the opposite side. Take a couple of deep breaths here. For 3 and 2 and 1. Great work. Okay, now we're going to bring ourselves up for a moment to reposition and take a hold of our weights. So if you are using weights, you're going to need a weight in each fist. If not, you're going to have long fingers with this next series of exercises. So we're going to roll down onto the mat, bringing the weights with us. Again, making those right angles with the legs, knees over hips. Now, if you don't have weights, you're just going to have long fingers. I'm going to demonstrate what it looks like. You're going to come up into a chest press and then lower, keeping the elbows nice and wide, keeping them about at rib cage height, and then lifting up again. Now you have the option of keeping your hips down on the floor for this, or leveling up by lifting the hips, coming into your elevated position as you reach up with those arms. So either variation works. You've got weights or long fingers. Good. Again, if you are lifting up, you're making sure that you're giving your glutes a nice little squeeze at the top of the lift as well, and that you're not overarching the low back. Keeping those legs parallel. Good. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift. Squeezing those chest muscles together as you draw those weights up toward the ceiling or those hands. Good. We've got 5 and 4. Last 3 and 2 and 1. Amazing. Now from here, the weight or the palms come overhead, so they're just above the shoulders. The palms are facing in toward each other. We're going to keep the upper arms perfectly stationary here as we bend at the elbows and then extend the arms. So we're bending, hinging from the elbows and extending the arms. Try not to let the top of the arms move around. We want them nice and still and stationary so we can really work the triceps here, working the backs of the arms as we bend and extend, bringing the weight to either side of the head. Good. Mind-muscle connection on those triceps, doing the work to lift the weight. Or if you're not holding on to any weight, you're still really working with your body's own resistance. So you're keeping those muscles switched on as you bend and extend the arms. Good. We've got 4 and 3. Last 2 and final 1. Nicely done. Now from here, we're going to bring the weights over the shoulders or the palms facing in toward each other. We're going to come up on the wall, and as we do so, we're going to bring one arm down and the other arm to the side of the body. One arm overhead and the other arm to the side of the body. Lower and switch. Lower, weights come over shoulders and switch. So if you've not got any weights, you've got long fingers, you're really reaching with those fingers as you lift and lower. Good. Keeping control here, moving slowly, keeping those arms nice and straight. Good. Extend and lower. Extend and lower. We've got 5. Really stretch out through those arms. 4. Squeeze the back body. 3. Abs are in. 2. And 1. Bring it back to center. Nice. Place the weight, if you're using it, off toward the side of the mat. And then we're going to bring ourselves up, switching positions for these last couple exercises. So we're going to go into some C-curve work again. This time we're going to hold the weights like so. If you're using no weight at all, you're going to press the palms together. So feet come onto the wall. Scoot yourself up as much as you need to. Actually, you can put the weights down for a second. Make sure you're really elongated through the spine. Take hold of the weights. Sink back into your C-curve. Arms are straight. And then lift arms overhead. C-curve. Abs are in to lift. Inhale to lower. Hold for a second. Then lift. Lower. Abs in to lift. Nice work. Lower. And lift with control. Again, if it's too awkward with your feet against the wall, you can simply plant them down onto the mat. Just maintain that hip distance apart with the legs. Lower and lift. Last one, lower and lift. Now we're going to add in some alternating pullbacks. So our feet are pressing into the wall. We're going to curve back into our C shape with the spine, and we're going to bring the right arm back and then forward. Nice straight arms, back and forward. So the abs are engaged. We're twisting to get that rotation, but we're keeping the hips evenly weighted down on the mat. Good. Really pull back with a lot of energy. We've got 4, 3, shoulders down away from your ears, and 1. Nicely done. Now holding the weight out or the palms out, we're going to bring fist to shoulders and then extend, holding in that C curve. But if it's too much on the back, sit up nice and tall and just really focus on the biceps. So you're keeping the arms at shoulder height, not letting those upper arms drop, keeping the upper arms stationary. Good. We've got 5 and 4. Last 3. Keep those arms nice and stable. 2 and 1. Release it down. Amazing. You can place your weight, if you're using it, off to the side of your mat. We're now going to move into an upper body stretch using the wall. So you can stand for this, or you can be on your knees like me. I'm just going to place one palm against the wall, and I'm just going to gently twist to one side, looking out over the opposite shoulder, feeling that stretch running all the way up my arm and into my chest. Press your palm really securely onto the wall and twist a little bit more deeply if you can for 3 and 2 and 1. Nicely done. Now opposite side. I'm going to come around facing this way, pressing the palm into the mat and or onto the wall and twisting. Getting a nice upper body twist in here, feeling that stretch running from my fingertips all the way into my chest. Twist a little bit more deeply for 3 and 2 and 1. And you can turn and face me. Let's lift those shoulders up by the ears. Inhale and exhale. Melt any tension away. Inhale, lift. And exhale, roll the shoulders down and back. Last one, lift. And roll those shoulders down and back. Amazing work with that Wall Pilates workout. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought of the moves, and I look forward to working out with you again next time.